Have you ever walked out during sex? Why? I realized I'd left my brother who was visiting me from another city back at the club. Had to go find him. I looked over and saw his tidy whities with a massive skid mark in them and some yellowish stain on the front half. I got the ick and went home, then woke up with a UTI the next day. My husband whispered it's free real estate in my ear while he came, and I just couldn't deal with him for the next 20 minutes. It's not quite on the same level, but my dude and I started making Minecraft villager interrogative grunts. Hun? At each other and dissolving into giggles, after he got me addicted to the game. Backfired on us when I made the mistake of grunting at him when we were getting it on, right as we got his pants pulled down. It took about 3 days before we got to finish, because one or the other of us would start laughing again any time we tried to rekindle the mood. FTR, I do not recommend Minecraft edging. Some things are just better left to the professionals. Just realized I was being filmed. That's fucked up. Did they delete it when you found out? Didn't stick around. I should have though. I don't know if this is old wounds, but no, you have every right to report. It's a complete violation and not something anyone should experience or take lightly. Once, during the act, I had a woman take the condom off of me. She then proceeded to put her hand inside it, stretch her fingers as much as she could, and then attempted to touch my face with it. I was just so shocked and stunned by the whole situation that I apologized and then left. You've never done the slimy sock puppet. Where is the unread button? Didn't walk out, but definitely stopped mid-thrust. I was getting yelled at for messing up the sheets on the bed she just made. Bro, I hate this. If I'm having sex, I don't care if we break the entire house. We will deal with that when we're done and I have post-nut clarity. The condom started to slip, so I pulled out to fix it. She turned around, and it was at that moment I realized she was ugly crying. She had just gotten out of a long-term relationship, so I knew what was up. We stopped and went on about our day. My brain didn't see the word crying. I was laughing for a minute. She turned around, and it was at that moment I realized she was ugly. When the alcohol starts to wear off. Yes. We changed positions and he went to put it back in, and I noticed immediately that he had removed the condom. I fucking flipped out and left. I've never had a single regret about it. Stealthing is such a scummy move. Like disgusting. You definitely shouldn't have any regrets. Also is a crime, I think. She bit my ear so hard it started bleeding and wouldn't let go. I was done after that. Mike Tyson? Similar situation though no blood, also it was at my place. She bit me, I stopped and explained I'm not into biting. Bit me again. Asked her politely to leave. Still have dents on the hood of my car from where she slammed the remainder of her six-pack. She must have had some rock-hard abs. Had a guy bite my boob once during sex, and not in the fun sexy way. That fucking hurt. Told him not to do it again. Few minutes later he did it again, and wasn't letting go. Need him to get him to let go and left. What the fuck is wrong with people? How'd he react? He got mad at me for kneeing him and then yelling about how he knows what women like and I was fucking stupid. I just told him to fuck off and blocked him on everything after that. We had actually been out a few times and that was the second time having sex. Up until then he had seemed normal. I dipped tobacco for the first time before going to my GF's house. Stomach was feeling weird, but I thought I could power through it. About 3 minutes into the deed I literally push her off of the bed, run to the bathroom, and start projectile vomiting into the toilet. Her mom walked in to check on me a couple minutes later, and to her shock I was butt-ass naked with my head in the toilet. I left immediately to my friend's house down the road. Probably the most embarrassing night of my life. In the heat of moment started having sex with my ex. Then I remembered why I broke up with her in the first place, and I just walked away. It was hard but was worth it. I did the same, but I was still madly in love with her, and she was the one who dumped me. She was also the one who initiated the sex by taking my hand and shoving it down inside her pants. Immediately after the sex she said, "Just so you know, this means nothing and nothing's changed. Problem was, we still lived in our shared apartment but in separate rooms. It was 6 months of hell. Took me 10 years to get over her, and I still dream of us together. I've been single for 22 years now. Not had a relationship since. Met her a few months back for coffee. She has 2 kids and moved back to Sweden, BC. Her boyfriend cheated on her with multiple women and beat her, am sad to say. She was still gorgeous, October 10th. That's rough. I'll be honest though, if my ex did that it would sting me pretty hard, but I'd still get it. It would satisfy your body's penis, but not your soul's penis. During a blowjob, a girl vomited on me heavily. The smell caused me to vomit on her, as she was right beneath me. I threw up on my husband once during a BJ when we were still dating. It was so embarrassing, but he was just like, "Okay, let's go take a shower." And then after that we watched TV. These stories always result in marriage. My ex-girlfriend was obsessed with handcuffs, and I knew something was seriously wrong when she brought 2 pairs with her one night. She was usually the one handcuffed, but she requested that I be handcuffed this time, so I agreed. She handcuffed my feet together immediately after handcuffing my hands to the bed frame, which was odd, but I went along with it. Midway through, she started smacking and scratching me, but not in a sexy way, more like a vampire trying to eat its victim way, and I knew it had to stop. I was able to push her away and waddle my way into the hallway after ripping these adult toy handcuffs off me like the Hulk. Oddly enough though, we went strong for another 4 months in our relationship after that. Only once, because she answered the phone and started a conversation as we were getting started. To be fair, it was her mom, and it could have potentially been an emergency, and the dog needed to go out for a pee anyway. I dated a girl who was really into blowing me while I was on the phone. Yes. I told him a condom was a must. He put it on and we got to having fun. Halfway through kept saying, "Let me take it off. Why don't you want to go raw? Are you dirty? You have something?" I was on top, so I got off, got dressed, grabbed my things and left. Blocked everywhere I could. He was pissed that I was leaving without making him finish,